So welcome everyone back to Szeged. It's a great pleasure to see you all here, and of course we would like to continue our programs here, and as András Varró said, we are really feel honored to have Botond Roska here, and let me a little bit introduce him to you before he starts his lectures. Actually, the early years in everybody's life has huge importance about the career choice, and Botond Roska was born in Budapest, and actually his mother was a pianist, a piano player, so he was very close for artist part, and his father was a really distinguished scientist in Hungary. So if we look at his background and history, it's not surprisingly there were two things which very much motivated him to do. One of them was to play on some instrument, and the other was actually to think about mathematical challenges and questions. And at the very early phase of his career, because he grew up very close to the piano, as far as I understood from him, and he wanted to be actually a professional a cellist at the very beginning, and he studied at the Franz Liszt Academy of Music in Budapest. And to be honest, he was, of course, not only talented in the work he is doing currently, but he was really very talented, one of the best cello artists at school, and he was very close to be a professional musician. However, one of the major characteristics of a scientist is to have curiosity and lots of questions. And actually his very first question was in his life that can a bicycle be repaired while cycling? And actually this let his career go to the scientist career, because he chose at that time, I think, a dangerous methodology, because he tried it by himself. And unfortunately, or fortunately, it depends on whether somebody looking at from the artist or the scientist part, he had an injury during this exercise. And he found out very easily that the answer is no. So you can't actually repair a bicycle while cycling. And actually after that, he chose his career to be a scientist. So besides to be a professional cello artist, he actually went to Laureates University to learn mathematics, and after he chose also Semmelweis University to be a medical doctor. And I hear plenty of times for students how to organize their calendars, that sometimes it's too much to study, sometimes it's not enough time to do science. This is also a brilliant example that if somebody wants to do something, they can do it, and especially in a very high quality of life. So, and the other issue is, which is very important, that if you have strategy, if you have motivation, and really lots of commitment, what you want to do, you can do in a very high quality. So after the graduation at Semmelweis University and Laureates University, he chose the University of California in Berkeley to study and get the PhD degrees. But again, multidisciplinarity and interdisciplinarity is a very good quality in science and gives you huge amount of possibilities to ask questions which you would never be able to ask without knowing plenty of different fields of science. So after he moved to Harvard and actually became to be a fellow in genetics, and one of his most important work in a current research project is the complex examination of the visual system, and his major aim is to restore vision for blind people, which actually get focus of the scientific world's really interest. And after his studies also in Harvard, he moved to Basel, and became to be a professor at the Faculty of Medicine in 2014. And after, he is a founding director of the Institute of Molecular and Clinical Ophthalmology in Basel, which is currently the #1 research center in neuroscience and ophthalmology. And if I look at his career and coming back to the real importance in basic science, that one of the most important part is to find out how things work and how the biological system acting in a normal conditions, and after to go and find out possibilities to repair its function. So his major focus is not actually the applied science part, but the basic science part, which let him ask plenty of very important questions. And one of the questions, because everybody knows that different organisms like viruses able to transfer information to cells. However, you need a postal code, actually, because you don't want the information to go every cell type. So he very elegantly developed a model in which if you would like to genetically modify a cell, just modify only the cells which you want it to modify, and these are the cells in the retina which actually persuades the visual information. And after, of course, very important that the discovery is necessary to translate it for community benefit, for patients' benefit, and after understanding the visual system, after developing different methodologies how to restore visual function, he was very first in the world who could partially recover a visual function in a blind patient after optogenic therapy. And I think currently around 5 people enjoying worldwide about this technology, and I think this is unbelievably fascinating and gives a real hope for the future that those people who losing their visual function, it can be restored. Of course, his absolutely major and excellent discoveries came out with prizes, and he received several really highly distinguished prizes, which actually also recognizing his excellence. And as you know, we always invite people, either they are already Nobel laureates or their work is as important as to receive Nobel Prizes as well. We really do hope as well that his work later on and recognition will also lead to other prizes worldwide. Currently, he's working in Basel, but has an affiliation also at Semmelweis University, and there is a research lab at the Department of Anatomy in where he is also doing his research. And we really consider it a great honor and an exceptional gift to have Botond Roska visit the Bert Sakman National Scientists Academy. And I would like to thank you, Botond, very much for your incredible, valuable time that you spend us. And thank you very much for coming to this school. And I am more than sure that all students, and I am as well, will very much enjoy your talk. So the stage is yours, and thank you very much.